Are you done with your drama yet? There is plenty of work to do. Get up now.
Hey you, black girl. Where did you disappear to? Come here, come now, and massage my feet. Zainab, who was bent in front of the stove, suddenly stopped her hands. The heat of a burning wood was touching her face. Sweat was flowing from her forehead down to her eyes. But she did not stop her hands, because she knew if she delayed even for a moment, something bad would happen again today. She slowly stood up, wiped her tears with her hands, and started walking towards the courtyard. With every step, her heart was beating faster. But she didn't know that this was the moment from where her life was going to change forever. Rashida Begum was sitting on the charpai, her face full of anger, eyes filled with hatred. You came? Or should I come drag you myself? Zainab lowered her head. Yes, I'm coming. Then sit and press harder. Do you not even have strength in your hands? Zainab sat on the ground and slowly started massaging her feet. Her hands were trembling, but she did not look up even once, because she knew even lifting her eyes could be dangerous for her. This was the same Zainab who once had dreams in her eyes, whose home once echoed with laughter. But today, she was living a life where nothing belonged to her anymore. Her parents had left this world in an accident. That day was the biggest wound of Zainab's life. But she didn't know that the real suffering was just about to begin. After her parents passed away, her uncle and aunt took her into their home. At first, they pretended to love her, but slowly, they took all of Zainab's property in their name. And then, to get rid of Zainab, they married her off into a very ordinary family. Zainab's mother-in-law, Rashida Begum, was a greedy woman. She also brought Zainab into her house, thinking she was the daughter of a rich family. And when Zainab asked them about her parents' property, her uncle and aunt replied to her with extreme disrespect.
You have no right here anymore!
That day, Zainab was standing on the road, empty hands, a broken heart. But fate gave her another chance, and that was her marriage. She thought maybe now her life would finally get better. But just a few months later, her husband also left this world. In a single moment, Zainab became alone once again. In the beginning, Rashida Begum treated her kindly. I consider you like my daughter. But as soon as she found out that Zainab had nothing left, no property, no support, her behavior completely changed. Dark-skinned, and on top of that a widow. My son was truly unfortunate. This sentence echoed in Zainab's ears every single day. Work all day long, waking up early in the morning, cleaning the courtyard, washing the dishes, cooking food, washing clothes, and in return, only dry bread and humiliation. But Zainab never complained. At night, she would quietly wake up, lay down her prayer mat, and fall into prostration, crying, "Oh Allah, give me patience and justice." But she didn't know when her prayers would be answered. One day, a piece of news spread in the village. A wealthy woman has arrived, looking for a bride for her son. The entire village was stirred. Every house began presenting their daughters. But that woman was not impressed by anyone, because she wasn't just looking for beauty, she was searching for sincerity of the heart. During this time, a kind woman said, "If you truly want a good girl, then look at Zainab." Zainab? The same one people talk about? Let people say whatever they want. That girl is very pure-hearted. Hearing this, curiosity sparked in Nazreen Begum's heart. When she arrived at Zainab's house, Zainab was in the courtyard, hanging clothes to dry, her face covered in sweat, but her manner was gentle. She saw the guests and immediately stepped forward. "Assalamu alaikum." please come in?" There was such sweetness in her voice that Nazreen Begum paused for a moment, as if she had found exactly what she was searching for. She spoke to Zainab, humility in every answer, truth in every word. But at that very moment, another gaze was watching them, Rashida Begum's, whose eyes were now burning with jealousy. As soon as the guests left, the door closed, and then Rashida Begum turned around. "Oh, so now you think you'll become the daughter-in-law of a rich family?" She pushed Zainab hard. Zainab fell to the ground, but this was only the beginning. Zainab lay on the ground, her hands trembling, her breath getting heavier. Rashida Begum stood over her, fire in her eyes. "Listen carefully. Stop dreaming all this. You will always remain at my feet." Zainab lowered her head. Yes, but inside her heart, a strange fear had already begun to grow, as if something very terrible was about to happen. The next day, there was silence in the house, but it was the kind of silence that comes before a storm. There was a strange calm on Rashida Begum's face. She was unusually quiet. Zainab noticed this, and her heart grew even more restless. That same evening, Zainab was in the kitchen preparing food. The fire in the stove was blazing, the wood was burning, sweat was running down her face. Suddenly, the door burst open. Rashida Begum walked in. There was a dangerous smile on her face. She slowly walked towards the stove, picked up a burning piece of wood, and started moving towards Zainab. "Today, I will teach you a lesson that you will remember for the rest of your life." The spoon fell from Zainab's hand. She began stepping back. Her heart was pounding rapidly. Don't hit me, for God's sake. I will do whatever you say." Her voice was trembling. Tears were flowing from her eyes, but in that moment there was no trace of mercy in Rashida Begum's eyes. She came very close to her, so close that Zainab could feel the heat of the burning wood. But then, suddenly, Rashida Begum stopped. She threw the wood down and shouted loudly, "Not today! Not now! First, I will destroy you completely." Hearing this sentence, a cold wave ran through Zainab's body. That night, Zainab could not sleep. She kept remembering that scene again and again, the burning wood, those terrifying eyes. Oh Allah, what is going to happen now? But the answer was hidden in silence. The next day, Rashida Begum left the house without telling anyone. Zainab watched from the window. She was going down an unfamiliar path. Zainab's heart was telling her, this is not something normal. Rashida Begum went straight to a deserted place where a man who practiced dark arts was sitting. "Babaji." The man closed his eyes and said slowly, "What do you want?" Rashida said, "The girl I got as a daughter-in-law is nothing but a servant. This girl should not leave. If she leaves, who will serve me? I want her to remain my slave for her entire life. Destroy her face, ruin her life. Do something so that no one would ever want to look at her." In that moment, she didn't just decide against Zainab. She decided against her own fate. The very next day, Zainab's condition began to change. Strange rashes appeared on her face. Her body started growing weak. Her hands began to tremble. Even lifting a cup became difficult, and whenever something slipped from her hands, Rashida Begum would shout, "See, this is her reality." But no one knew that this was a hidden attack. Days kept passing. Zainab's condition kept getting worse. She was no longer the same. She would look at herself in the mirror and fail to recognize herself, and along with that, her heart kept breaking. One night, she was sitting completely alone. There was rat poison in her hand. "That's it. No more. Tears were flowing from her eyes. Her hand was trembling. "Oh Allah, I'm tired." Just as she was about to drink it, suddenly a voice came from behind. "Zainab?" That voice, so soft, so gentle, that her hand froze. She slowly turned back, and what she saw took her breath away. A luminous girl, dressed in white, standing right in front of her. Light was radiating from her face, peace in her eyes. "Do not be afraid." Zainab stepped back. Who are you?" She smiled. "I have come from Allah to help you." Hearing this, Zainab's tears stopped. "All of this was your test, and you endured it with patience. But what you are about to do is a sin." The poison slipped from Zainab's hand. A strange sense of peace began to settle in her heart. At the same time, the luminous girl gently touched Zainab's face, and her face became clear again, just like before. And Zainab became healthy again, just like she used to be. Then the luminous girl said, "Tomorrow's sun will change your life, and everything that was done to you will be accounted for." Hearing this, hope awakened in Zainab's eyes. "Is it really true?" She smiled. Allah never leaves his patient servants alone. And slowly, the luminous girl disappeared. The room became silent again, but this time, there was no darkness in Zainab's heart. She immediately went to her prayer mat and fell into prostration, crying, "Oh Allah, forgive me." That night came to an end, but the real story was still remaining. The next day, there was a knock on the door. Nazreen Begum had come again, but this time, something in the house had changed. Knock, knock, knock. Zainab's heart stopped for a moment. She immediately remembered that luminous voice. "Tomorrow's sun will change your life." She slowly walked towards the door. Her hands were still trembling. As soon as she opened the door, Nazreen Begum was standing there. The same grace, the same gentleness, but today there was a strange seriousness in her eyes. "Assalamu alaikum, daughter." Zainab immediately lowered her head. "Wa alaikum assalam. Please come in." But this time, there was a strange peace in her heart. She brought her inside, made her sit in the courtyard, and offered her water. At that same moment, inside the room, Rashida Begum was sitting. She heard the voice and came out angrily. "She came again?" But as soon as she reached the door, she suddenly stopped. Her eyes widened, her breathing became heavy, because near the door, she saw that same luminous girl. But this time, she was not the same. Her face had turned terrifying, her eyes red, her voice echoing. "Stop!" Rashida Begum's feet froze to the ground. She tried to speak, but her voice got stuck in her throat. Her entire body started trembling. Meanwhile, in the courtyard, Nazreen Begum was speaking to Zainab. "Daughter, we have come one last time for your answer." Zainab lowered her head, but in her heart the same words were echoing. "Tomorrow's sun will change your life. If you agree, we would like to finalize this proposal." Tears filled Zainab's eyes. She stayed silent for a few moments, then slowly nodded her head. "Yes." That one word was about to change her entire life. Nazreen Begum smiled. "In 2 days on Friday, we will come with the wedding procession." At that same moment, Rashida Begum was watching everything from inside. She wanted to scream, "No, this cannot happen." But it was as if her tongue had been locked. And whenever she tried to step forward, she saw that same luminous girl in front of her. and stepped back in fear. Now, the game had changed. As soon as Nasreen Begum left, silence spread across the house. Rashida Begum sat in a corner, drenched in sweat. What is happening? She started seeing strange things everywhere. Sometimes she saw her dead son. Sometimes that same luminous girl. Annie? She turned around, but there was no one. Her mind had started to break. Meanwhile, Zainab was sitting in her room. There was no fear in her heart, only peace, as if someone had lifted her burden. 2 days passed. Friday arrived. The village came alive with excitement. Nasreen Begum arrived with the wedding procession, simple yet graceful. The marriage took place, and Zainab, who was living in humiliation just yesterday, was now leaving with honor. But the story does not end here. The real ending was still left. As soon as Zainab left that house, Rashida Begum was left alone. And then it began. Something no one had ever imagined. The next day, she looked at herself in the mirror and screamed. The same rashes had appeared on her face, the same marks that once appeared on Zainab's face. How is this possible? She panicked. Within a few days, her skin began turning dark, severe itching all over her body. She kept scratching until her skin started peeling off. And then, wounds began to form, deep, painful. And one day, those wounds became filled with worms. "Help!" she screamed. But there was no one to listen, because the one who makes everyone cry has no one left to cry for them. Her mind had completely given up. She wandered through the streets. "She's coming. She will kill me." People became afraid upon seeing her. "Is this the same Rashida? The one who used to trouble everyone?" Now she had become a lesson for others. Meanwhile, Zainab, in Nasreen Begum's house, was living a peaceful life. The rashes on her face had disappeared. She looked even more beautiful than before, as if nothing had ever happened. One night, she was standing on the rooftop looking at the sky. The wind was blowing, and suddenly she heard that same voice. Zainab. She turned around, that same luminous girl, but this time, smiling. "I told you, everything would be fine." Tears filled Zainab's eyes. "Who are you?" She smiled. "Just a means." And slowly, she disappeared. Zainab looked towards the sky. "Thank you, O Allah." If you love unseen and real-life stories, then leaving this channel would be a mistake.
If you want to see what happens next, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to leave a comment telling us how you liked the story.